The Mandalorian is all set to return with its third season in 2023, and as the release date is coming near, fan theories have also started stirring up. Honestly speaking, listening to these fan theories is actually unfolding a whole new universe of fun and excitement, and for some of these, we really hope they come true. In this video, let's have a look at some of these fan predictions. So let's get started. First up, fans believe that this season will dig deeper into Moff Gideon's character. No story that consists of a good and evil person is complete without the evil being compelling. But what makes evil compelling, you may ask? Well, for Mandalorian Moff Gideon, the main antagonist, being compelling is his own second nature.
Grogu.
He was raised at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. Many masters trained him over the years.
So we can say that he doesn't need anything other than getting the showrunners to study the character a bit more in depth. The only thing that kept him in the background was the lack of depth in his villainous actions and nature. But now, the fans have predicted that this upcoming season will do what we've been waiting for so far. Throughout previous seasons, Gideon got more and more characterization, but it still wasn't enough. There's a lot that's yet to be revealed. He was there since the pilot aired, as he was the one who the client trusted to put the plan of retrieving Grogu into action all those moons ago. It's pretty evident by now that this guy is a total threat, but how exactly? And what made him a threat is still to be revealed. So let's see if this prediction comes true or not. We think fans might actually be right if you ask us. Next up, fans believe this season will tell more about Grogu and Order 66. It's already quite clear that people want to know more about Grogu. Where did he come from?
Sorry, buddy, I can't land on the top. Too small. Looks like we're gonna have to travel the last stretch with the windows down.
Also about the Masters Yoda and Yadi. Since we didn't get much information about him in the first two seasons, we, along with many other fans, believe this new installment would bring what we've been waiting for. It'll answer several questions that we've had about this little creature. From what we know so far, fans are sure that in this upcoming season, we'll get to know about everything that happened to Grogu's parents and how he was the only one to survive the siege of the Jedi Temple. Not just that, we think this new season will also reveal details about the effects of Order 66 on Grogu. He's already 50 years old, but is still an infant for his race and also in appearance. At this age, he's skilled at cohesive thinking, and it feels like he kept his forces hidden to stay undetected. Some other fans believe that while Grogu is still a baby, Master Skywalker Din Djarin will have to be careful about how he raises him. After all, he's already killed a man after he stole something from Djarin and even used his force choke on Cara Dune. So fans speculate that this little thing might show signs of dark forces in the coming season.
Can he make it there before they deploy?
It's possible.
Here, take his code cylinder and seal off their holding bay. Anyone else, we can handle.
We'll meet at the bridge.
While others put purpose before feelings, Grogu works totally oppositely, and his feelings are much more important than his purpose. Up next, the Mines of Mandalore will be one of the most important locations in this season. Yes, that's right, but we don't know if we can be sure about it. But because fans are saying this, we can just hope that this happens. Okay, so according to several fans, the Mines of Mandalore are going to be an important location this season. The thing about this location is that they hold a high place of sacredness among the Mandalorians. Not to mention the Beskar they use in making their weapons and armor also comes from this very location. Now with the new season, fans speculate that Mando, along with Grogu, will journey to the mines. There they'll end up discovering that the mines are actually all functional, while the famous notion was that these mines have been closed for the longest time.
They're useless, they're melted.
Oh, it's probably not rated for lava.
Imperial trash.
All right, I'm headed back. Hit me up on the comm, we can set up a rendezvous time. You park your gills right there until I say otherwise.
In short, they'll figure out that the Empire has been secretly using the Beskar from these mines. Now here, another fan says that at this point, Bo-Katan and Mando will reconcile, as she'll come to Mando's aid using her ships. Following up, Ahsoka and Luke will return. This one's actually interesting. So, a rumor has been going around among the fans that Ahsoka Tano, who was the old Padawan of Anakin Skywalker, might return this season. The last time we saw her was in the 5th season, and fans loved her appearance. And after seeing Luke in the Book of Boba Fett, there were speculations that she'll return alongside him. In that book, he had given Grogu an ultimatum to return to Mando and resume his training as a Jedi. But, well, Grogu doesn't listen to no one. Now, the issue that might arise is that Ahsoka knows that Mando can't train Grogu. So, with that being said, we wonder if Luke will still insist on taking the little guy back to the Jedi Academy. Fans are also wondering if she would step in and team up with Luke to train Grogu. It's possible, but it's just in theory at the moment. So, let's see if the showrunners also think the same. Another prediction states that Mando will become the true ruler. Well, this one actually surprised us a bit. But imagine if that actually happens. Not gonna lie, we'd love for that to occur in the coming season. In the Season 2 finale, Moff Gideon lost against Mando, and that's when he became the rightful owner of the Darksaber and also the leader of the people of Mandalore. But here's the deal, he never came to terms with this title he had. He doesn't really act like a ruler.
Not if I have to drink this.
Says your people steal their water. Now you insult them by not drinking it. They know about Mos Pelgo. They know how many sand people you killed.
But with Season 3, fans are hoping that he'll finally truly inherit the title. His hesitant behavior is because of being the only one to become a ruler without inheriting the title. He's the first foundling to do so. This new installment will have to open up about the character accepting the title and finally acting like an actual ruler of the Mandalorian people. We must see him cope with all the responsibilities. So let's see what this third season has in its bag for us. Now, let's talk about how The Mandalorian could have been better off without a sequel. It's true that the series is in fact one of the most beloved and watched series on Disney Plus and Star Wars franchise to date, but the presence of a sequel trilogy is limiting the entire storyline. Let's see, the series we watch is heavily inspired by the original show, as well as the prequel trilogies. Not just that, the majority of cameos also come from the prequel era, and not somewhere else. For example, Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano. All of them are from the prequel era, and if you watch the first 2 seasons, they are also loaded with references from the prequels. But with all that, if you notice, the series has failed to focus on the future. In short, we don't see any major thing about the sequel trilogy, and it only gives little hints about it. Yes, that's a good thing, but since the sequel trilogy itself is entirely disconnected from the series, it feels a bit wrong. This is why we think the show will have difficulty connecting the dots, and we might not get a satisfying ending. Lastly, The Mandalorian would be much more independent without the sequel. We get that the show still has over 25 years worth of content that needs to be covered before the sequels make sense, but honestly, it seems like the show would have done much better if the sequel weren't there. After all, the trilogy ties the show into a whole storyline that needs to end up making a base for the sequels. It wouldn't have required them to set up the New Republic or the First Order. Instead, the story could go into the reinstating of Mandalore as the major power in the entire galaxy. From what we know, the series didn't necessarily need the trilogy to explain the story in the best way. It was possible even without that. In fact, it could have been much better. This show was the first one to ever discover what exactly happened before Return of the Jedi, and since it's such a good series, it could have easily hooked the fans. In fact, we believe it could have done better than any other show in the franchise. The future of Star Wars could have been better. The sequels of this version could have started with Baby Yoda instead of Rey. This would have explained Mandalorian's relationship with Grogu as well, and they wouldn't have felt the need to introduce the First Order or the New Republic. This way, the show could continue to explore Mandalore's true power as well as Grogu's force. On top of that, the show could have also explored the reunion of the protagonists of the original trilogy. Luke is already there, but we don't see Han and Leia, and if there wasn't the sequel, Grogu could have helped in bringing them together. And this is all for today's video, fam. What do you think about it? Do let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing content soon. See you in the next one.